Oh, pork chest,
Hey
I think.
guys, we are live. Thank you for tuning in tonight, all three viewers. But tonight's topic is the don'ts of concealed carry. So we'll be covering that. Also, I have one last Glocktober prize to give away to the people that are watching on YouTube as well as those over at gun channels. And at the end of the chat, I'll ask a question. The first one to answer correctly wins the prize. Please do not enter if you've won a prize already, because it'll just get a duplicate, and really, you don't want duplicate prizes.
Yes.
Everybody's getting the same
I want
basically,
duplicate,
so.
right?
Can I make a similar announcement?
Sure.
For those of you out there, in addition to Quark's giveaway tonight, is I have a 2-pack that I'm giving away, and it ends Monday morning. So if you want to enter his contest as well as enter mine, I'll go ahead and head over to Just Dano, and there's a video there that'll tell you exactly what to do. And again, I'm giving away 2 of them. So you get actually 3 chances tonight to get a Glocktober swag bag giveaway.
Yeah. And if you want to know what you got a chance at winning, head over to glocktober.us.
Yep.
See, I'm waiting on. I bought the Glocktober patch and I bought Haas UMC patch, so that's probably why my shit hasn't shipped yet.
No.
Also, I want to thank Glock for providing me the prizes. I want to thank G-Webs, also known as Gun Websites, for doing all the legwork and getting this stuff out there and letting a lot of different channels give the packages away.
I think,
One last thing, if you did win, G-Webs will be sending these sometime in November. So don't ask me where's my prize pack. They're not. He's gonna ship them all at once. So
yeah, I was going to say one other quick thing before you guys go on. Don't forget to thank Wilderness Tactical for picking up some of the shipping money and stuff. Wilderness Tactical makes the instructor belts that every company had copied. They're the original. Also, I think ATEI helped out G-Webs with the shipping and stuff. So ATEI, they do a lot of custom work on Glocks, man, and they're the best, one of the best companies out there. So
I also believe Artisan Tony helped out.
Yes.
There's some other companies I forgot already.
Yes.
And a bunch. I think they're all mentioned over at glocktober.us. So
Yes. In fact, all the ones that they're listed as partners, they have actually added to the giveaway. So not only is there the base items, but there's some, as an example, Wilderness Tactical, they added some swag in there. I know Ghost Town Custom Knives added something in there. But also the other partners also added in what I'll call 1 or 2 of a kind, depending on what it is. You know, a couple hats, a couple of this, a couple of that. As well as, you know, the sponsors like Quirk and myself, along with a whole bunch of others, in helping give the stuff away.
yes, and Ghost Town Custom Knives, you can see them at ghosttowncustomknives.com, is donating a custom Glock knife. I don't know exactly what he all did to it, but I know for one is that he stippled the handle. I can't tell you if he did anything to the blade or else, but. And if you haven't had a chance to handle a Glock knife or play around with them, they're awesome knives, especially for the price. So we're going to get on topic here after I do the introduction. First, we got B-Gurk.
What's up? What's up, B-Gurk? I'm B-Gurk. I've been drinking, but so concealed carry do's and don'ts, right? First thing,
Well, no, I'm just doing the introductions right now, Gurk.
I wanna. Go ahead.
I said after I do introductions, we'll get to the topic. But then we got D's Nuts, DB's, DB Cooper,
Yeah,
456.
Nuts, salted or unsalted. Get a Wilderness Instructor tactical belt, man. They're awesome. They're very cheap. I think I paid like $40 for mine on sale or whatever. So don't buy the fake ones, man. It's not worth it.
And then we have Just Adam, who is showing off a Glock knife.
Yes, this is the top of the same model of Glock knife that's in the giveaway. It has a sawback up on top as well as blade underneath. And this is actually a bayonet. I believe it's the AUG.
Yeah, the Steyr
AUG. So in addition to being a knife, it's actually also intended to be fits on the Steyr AUG. So it's a bayonet in addition to a kind of a wilderness general purpose knife.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of things to like about the knife. You can use I can just tell you, one of them which is actually the bayonet mount. You can actually use as a bottle opener.
Yeah, and this is what it goes into. I'll just kind of give a little demo here. It kind of goes in. It's got a nice little lock. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll try to hold it up to the microphone. But you can hear it snap in place. So when you're putting it down your side, you can hear, is it locked in there yet? And you can obviously hear it. So that's one other nice little feature on it. And it doesn't just go on it can go on either a regular belt, or it can go on if you have a PALS webbing or something like that, or an actual gun belt. It'll fit any of those. So I really like it. I also like the retaining system, that there's no doubt that it's in there and it's not coming off.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about those knives. And
Put that over to the side.
I did a chat about Glock knives a few weeks ago, so you can check that out too.
Yep.
And then you've got me, of course. If you don't know who I am, well, you are in the wrong place. But as I said earlier, tonight's topic is the don'ts of concealed carry. And I just want everybody here to list just what you think is their most important don't of concealed carry.
You want me to start?
Yeah, let me start. So, first thing is first. This should be like utmost importance. Do not conceal carry without a permit. It's like #1 rule, right? I mean, I hear people doing that shit all the time.
Well, I'm gonna modify that just a little bit, Kirk. Don't conceal without a permit if you live in a state where a permit or a license is required. There are.
I think that's. Oh shit.
But if you conceal carrying in a state where, like Arizona, where you don't need to have that license or permit, make sure you have photo ID on you, because that is required.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Okay, but yeah, don't conceal carry with a permit, and the thing about the thing about that is also other thing I wanted to add it is wear a holster that fits your gun and that fits you, because it's a lot of POS out there. It's a lot of POS out there that's not right and that you shouldn't use, man. I got more shit, but I'll save it.
What about you, DB?
No, he's right about that. I didn't even think about it. That's a given, man. Like the right belt, Wilderness Tactical, the right belt, the right holster. Guys wearing belts from Kmart with an Uncle Mike's, and they kick their feet up, sitting at home, and their gun falls out and smashes on the floor or whatever. You're getting out of your car and your gun falls in the parking lot. You don't want to be that guy. So definitely get a holster that's made for the gun you're carrying. Get a proper belt. Get of course, get your concealed carry permit. Follow the laws in your state. A lot of them are strange, but you got to do it. And then I was gonna say, there's certain other things like be careful who you're hanging out with. Don't drink alcohol. One beer, whatever. If you're ever gonna be in a situation where you can't drive, you shouldn't be around a gun. You know what I mean? Like, I can see at a barbecue, you have a beer with dinner, whatever, but you don't want to get any kind of alcohol impairment going on with carrying. What else? Always carry with one in the chamber, man.
Illegal drugs as well there, DB.
I just want to say, always carry with one in the chamber, because, if you're walking around town with an unloaded gun and you think you're condition 2, condition 3, get over it, man. Just get over it. You're carrying an unloaded gun. It's a paperweight. It's empty. You're carrying an empty gun, dude.
All right.
My turn yet?
Yep.
Okay, I agree with everything that's been said so far, but one thing I want to add in there, and I kind of think it's a tie for #1, and that is that the rules of safe gun handling apply just as much to concealed carry as they do when you're cleaning your gun, as to when you're at the range, as to when you're transporting your gun, as to when you're showing your gun to someone else for instruction purposes. So the rules of safe gun handling still apply.
All right. Well, besides everything else there, which I agree wholeheartedly with, and there are so many, but for me, it's don't be, I would say, impulsive. If you can't, control yourself, you're gonna get mad really easily. Don't carry.
Yeah, we may seem very passionate in these chats, and we are. But when it comes to carrying, when you carry your gun, you need to check your ego at home.
Yep. Yeah. But I'm going to bring up another one, too. That I think is don't develop that gun courage either. If you're normally the quiet, unconfrontational sort of person, just because you're carrying a firearm, do not develop that courage.
Right, but okay, I also want to add, but if you are that hothead guy that jump off the wire even without a gun, suppress that shit also. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Be level-headed, because you got to think, if you use that, you're facing the law. If you this person that just got pissed because somebody fucking accidentally bumped into you and you fucking shot him like a dumbass, that's your ass. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why I mentioned you need to leave your ego at home.
Yeah, well, I want to go to the bottled courage, as I like to call it.
Beer muscles is another term.
Yeah, if you normally don't walk down a dark alleyway when you're leaving a restaurant, don't go walk down that dark alleyway because you're carrying a gun.
Yep.
Well, I guess.
No, it's not. I guess, Kirk. If you didn't think it was safe to do and you didn't have a firearm, having a firearm does not make it safe.
Well, I guess I'm different because I would walk through the damn dark alleyway whether or not I got a gun. I don't.
Right. I mean that's what I'm saying. If that's something you normally do, then continue doing it. But I'm not gonna.
No, it's not though, because that's not even a good idea. Don't walk down fucking dark alleyways, whether you would do it or not.
Are you trying to conflict yourself or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
I'm just putting it out. I'm not leading by example in this. Do as I say. Don't do as I do. Don't walk fucking dark alleyways. It's not safe. It's not cool. You might get raped by a dolphin or something.
Well, if you know you have a bad habit, Girk, then keep it to yourself. We don't want to advertise, these are things that I do that you shouldn't.
I feel you, but the guys watching this know this shit. But I digress. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I've got one other one, because that's been news here in Wisconsin over the last couple of years. Don't lose your gun. In other words, you're going to the bathroom and you got to take your gun off. Don't leave it on top of the trash can or toilet tank or whatever. That's just going to end up a lot of headaches, and it could end up with your gun in the wrong hands. So don't ever lose your gun.
But I got to say something about that. Like, I don't understand going to the bathroom. I don't, why would you be taking off your gun in the bathroom? I mean, I've been in bathrooms, had to go to the bathroom, and yeah, my pants on the ground and my fucking gun is sitting there inside my pants or whatever, but I've never had to have a reason to pull my gun out the holster to go to the bathroom. I don't understand that logic.
I was going to say, in terms of taking my holster off, I'm going to take my holster off right now, watch. I'm going to reach down and grab the clip. Now, you can't see. But anyway, the thing is in the holster, it's going to stay in there.
Yeah.
I can easily reholster it without taking it out. So I'm reducing desk pops and stuff. I'm going to put it back in right now inside the waistband. I'm going to clip it into my belt, around the belt. So I like the holsters like that because like what Girk was saying, when you go to the bathroom, some people take the gun out of their holster and all this other stuff. Even when I don't do what I just did, which was take the holster off completely, there's no real need for that. I mean, just hold the holster when your pants are going down and just deal with it, man.
There are some holsters that do not come out easily. And
That's my point. If you're rocking like a crossbreed or something like that, just leave it on. Like, leave the gun in the freaking holster. Like, stop
I
messing
have
with your...
those types too. Actually, I prefer the hybrids. But I mean, but I don't see why you're taking your gun out or you're taking your holster off in the bathroom. I don't even see why.
Well, I don't get it either, but I'm going to tell you the two stories. And it happened to the frickin', what was it, I think it was last year, where a woman left her gun on top of the changing table in the bathroom and got in a whole bunch of trouble, even though it was, not a gun-free zone. It was a church. Feminine disposal area or whatever it is, or the baby changing table. I can't remember right now, but she left it there and got in a whole bunch of trouble because she left her firearm where basically anybody going into that church could get it. And then this year, her husband left his gun in a freaking bathroom by mistake.
so are they going to a different church?
This time it was in a different county, thankfully, and I can't remember where it was. It was a bathroom at some place. I don't think it was a church this time.
I feel you, but I mean,
He didn't learn from his wife's mistake.
Is because the weight of the gun, if you undo your pants, it's going to have a tendency to take your pants down to your ankles. I understand it with certain types of guns, especially if it's an all-steel gun. I understand the why. I think you ought to reconsider the how.
Yeah, and I heard this story on one of these chats, and I can't remember who told it or what it was about, but the guy taking the 1911, I think it was, or the 45. I know it was a 45, so I think it was a 1911, and putting it over on like a little coat hook on the on the stall door, and having the gun fire.
Well, I mean, if you are in a stall and the door is locked, short of any toe tapping, nobody should be coming in there.
but
Why take and put on a hanger, the coat hanger on the bathroom, throwing your gun on there? The only way you can hang that is through the trigger guard.
Right. I'm just saying, again, they're afraid of it either dropping or falling in the actual toilet. I mean, I know what they're afraid of. I'm just saying that there's a better solution than what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm just put it like this. Don't take. Why are you taking your gun out? If you gotta drop your pants to the ground when you're in the bathroom, you can even like twist your pants aside where your gun is in between your feet, like where it's not off to one side where somebody could just reach in and grab it or whatever. But I mean, like, why are you taking your gun out? I don't understand it. If you're so afraid, don't drop your pants all the way down. Stop them by like your thighs or something.
I don't take my
You
gun
know what I
out.
think it is? It's a lot of it is the wrong belt, the wrong holster. They're wearing a floppy ass belt. It's not properly holding their gun. As soon as they unbuckle their pants, the freaking belt flips up around. The gun flips upside down.
Yep.
A lot of crap. Get a good belt and a good holster.
I've had that happen. I mean, but that's all. I mean, but at the same time, that's also why you have a fly in your pants. You don't have to unbuckle your pants.
Well, I'm talking about taking a shit. But yeah, you're right. When the fly thing, there's no need to do nothing when you're doing that. Like you use your zipper and leave everything alone.
Exactly.
But I'm telling you, the belt makes such a huge difference. I really think the belt and the holster thing, because a lot of these weak belts, as soon as you undo your button and then the zipper, the whole thing wants to flip upside down and fall on the ground.
Right. Yeah, I mean, now I use one of them Cobra EDC buckle belts, double stiff ass webbing and shit like that. And I mean, it's really good. It holds it on. It holds its fucking shape when I throw my pants on the ground. It's real
Dude,
shit.
it's hilarious. With the SOE belt I have, it like when I take my pants off and put them hang them on a chair or something like that, the waist doesn't close, dude. It looks like it's a kite.
No, not at all. That's how mine isn't an SOE, but it's the same. It's the same shit.
It
Yeah,
does
it doesn't.
not close at all.
It's not closed at all.
It's embarrassing because it's still a size 38 weight.
You literally have someone just hold your pants up and jump into them. That goes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like you could jump right into your pants, no problem.
Well, he has a DB as a 1%er, so he puts on his pants 2 legs at a time.
I bet. He probably doesn't even put on his pants. Probably has someone does that for him too.
Well, his butler does, yes, but you get the drift.
Yeah. But other shit not to do when you conceal carry. Okay, don't open carry when you're supposed to be concealed carrying. Like when you bend over and shit, watch your shirt, make sure you know what I mean. Adjust yourself. I mean,
Well, I'm gonna
try not to make it too obvious, but who the fuck cares?
Well, one thing you could do instead of bending over,
Well,
squat.
make sure you're concealing
Yes.
the firearm and not, print. I wouldn't say don't even worry about print, but make sure it's not like openly displayed. Make sure you're actually concealing it.
Well, that's wearing proper attire, but I'm gonna say that you do bend over. Casually adjust your shirt like you would normally. Don't go out of your way. Don't go and check to make sure your gun is concealed every time you take a step. Over fidgeting with your shirt to make sure it's concealed is going to draw attention right to you every time because you're acting abnormally.
I feel you, but me, I don't give a fuck about attention. About that. I mean, if you're legally, you got your concealed carry permit and you're concealed carrying whatever, well, you're making sure it's concealed. Who cares if other people honestly see you messing with your shirt, make sure it's concealed, or the police, whatever.
In some
What
places,
the hell do they do?
Girk, in some places like where I live, Illinois, people will panic. They will call the police, even though you have the full right to carry, and then you've got the hassle of dealing with the police, even though it's going to work out fine, but then you have that hassle to go through. So it's about avoiding that hassle.
Yeah, I suppose that's good information to put out, but that doesn't bother me.
I mean, if you don't mind spending time with the cops, then go ahead and advertise. But, I don't think it's a good idea.
Hey, man, I open carry anyway, so I don't know.
Well, what do you mean over carry?
I said I open carry.
Oh, open carry. Yeah. Well, I mean that's and I think that's an important difference as far as why we maybe have different answers. I cannot open carry; it's not an option where I live. I can only conceal carry.
I see.
So for you, I understand exactly why you're saying what you are because you can open carry. There's no doubt when you step into a restroom who's carrying and who's not.
I hear that. But I'm answering the question between concealed carry. I mean, I know about concealed. But I'm just saying, even if I do conceal carry, I don't that type of shit wouldn't bother me. You know what I mean? That's just me. I'm different. Like I said, I'm cut from a different cloth, man.
Oh, everybody says that, but we're all individuals. But that doesn't mean we're like different species.
Yeah. One other thing too, while I get that kind of way, we talk about open carry just a bit here because it's legal in Wisconsin, and I've seen this where, both police. I think you see it more with police officers than anybody else. They kind of use like their gun as an armrest. You know what I'm talking about? They kind of get rest their forearm against their gun. I see that with a few concealed carriers too, and it drives me crazy.
I got what you're saying. I kind of I don't do that, but I don't do that with my gun. But I do that with if I'm wearing like a chest rig or something like that. I rest my arm on the magazines. I hold them up for me. I don't do that with my gun though. But I've never actually seen anyone do that. I do use my arm to check my gun. I tap my arm on the side, on the side of my waist, make sure my gun's still there. But
It's one of those things I would say don't do.
No, I'm just
out as being out of the norm.
right.
Get the right clothes too, man. If you're wearing, for me, it doesn't matter much. So if I'm currently wearing a size 38 pants, I don't need to I don't really need to go up a size. It just fits in where I carry like perfectly. That spot like in between your back pocket and your front pocket, whatever they call it, 330 or whatever.
334.
So yeah, so like, but you know, if you're obviously, you're gonna need. Some people are going to need to buy different clothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're going to need to buy up a size of pants or up a size in shirt.
Right. The big thing about that is because people wear, people wear their pants like exactly the perfect size fit, where they're like super tight on your waist without even needing a belt.
Right.
I don't wear my pants like that. I use
Dude, seriously, I've seen people like in the last few years where I'm like, how do they carry keys to their house? What about a wallet? What about a cell phone? Like you have no pockets, you have no belt. Your pants they look like they're painted on your body. Like where do you carry
That's
your
Daniel
stuff?
for you. That's what Daniel wears.
How do you carry your stuff? Like forget, like guys like us got a flashlight, a knife, whatever. But my wallet and my keys alone, I need room.
Well, that's where it gets into the different types of carry. Like, as an example, Daniel, he appendix carries. Because for really thin people, appendix carry, or very fit people, appendix carry seems to work. Doesn't work for me, but it seems to work for very thin people, because I'm not thin.
Yeah.
Really? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, you know, from this camera shot, you can't see anything.
Those C cups kind of give it away there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like when I used to not carry, like if someone cut me off, I'd like give them the finger, I'd honk my horn and all that stuff. I guess we talked about that already. But like nowadays, I just try to, if someone cuts me off, I try to just, you know, calm down, just forget about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm in a position where I can't just start flipping out over little crap, you know?
No,
Now,
you can.
this one-
Just don't pull your gun out.
Yeah, this
You
one
never
I
know.
tried.
Pull them the fuck out. You can flip your finger out your horn. Just don't pull your gun out.
What
Yeah,
about
this
like
one I have.
today someone was tailgating me like, you know, so bad, and I like pulled over real quick, and the guy was breaking his neck, and I just like, you know,
Just let it
come on.
go.
I didn't give him the finger. Yeah, I didn't give him the finger. I didn't honk my horn. I didn't scream at him or nothing. Just forget it.
Yep.
I hear you, but that's different. He's fucking tailgating you, and you ain't do shit to him.
Yeah, my stepdad back in the day taught me when they're tailgating you, you just basically slam on your brakes real quick and just scare the crap out of them because they're gonna, you know, and just do that a couple times, like just jerk your brake, and they should back up off of you. But some of them don't. They don't learn. Like they're just jerks, man. They just.
Well, a tactic I use, and I don't suggest that anybody do this, is without using my brakes, I'd ever so slightly go slower and slower
That's what I do now.
and slower.
Yep.
Exactly
I mean,
what I do now.
I could be doing 30 in a 55. They're either going to pass me and then leave me the fuck alone, or they're going to back off, and then I will accelerate to normal speed. And give them
Dan,
a
that's
second.
exactly what I do right now. I wind up slowing down and then looking at their face in the rear view like,
Oh, yeah, they're exploding back there.
yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who does that.
How dare you do 40 in a 55? Well, because you're here, that's why.
But I want to say one that I think Yankee has probably fallen victim to numerous times, and that's advertising for your favorite gun company. In other words, wearing their branded stuff while you're carrying. I mean, that's just advertising that you're a gun person. You most likely aren't.
Well, to also
Indeed.
talk about putting gun stickers on your car for when you get pulled over.
In the
Yep.
last few years, yeah, gun stickers on your car to me are a bad idea. But like in the last few years, if I'm like standing in Walmart or something, and some guy's got like a, you know, like a paracord bracelet and a, you know, like Got Sig T-shirt and stuff, like yeah, I know that guy's carrying. You know what I mean? But to the average person, they're like, oh, they don't even notice that stuff. But like when the stuff on your car is bad because to me it's just like it's advertising like this stuff might be in this car, you know, parked in the middle of nowhere. Where if you're wearing it, it's more like, well, do you want to find out? Well, what I got, like, well, ask me, I guess. You know, we can have a conversation like, oh, that's a cool T-shirt, or you know, that's a cool paracord bracelet, and like you probably, to me, a paracord bracelet is like you're a good guy. For the most, you got to be a good guy. 90% chance you're you're out here just being a good guy.
But it advertises to the bad guys and those that hate guns that you're somebody to pester. You're somebody.
I don't think that. I think that's the good thing. I think the people who hate guns and the anti-freedom, anti-self-defense, I don't think they know about stuff like that. Like they'll just even Got Sig. I've seen that shirt a lot, or like HK logos or Glock hats. I see a lot of people with bumper stickers and stuff in their window, the Glock stuff. But I'll see people wearing the T-shirts too. And I don't think they have a clue. Well, maybe the Glock. That's just such a famous thing, But the SIG stuff, I don't think people really know about SIGs.
Right, because it's not a movie, or excuse me, a name that's been made popular by Hollywood as much as Glock.
Yeah, Glock and Smith & Wesson to me are they're probably the most famous.
And the other, my concern is by putting a sticker on your car or the hat is if you get pulled over just for a speeding ticket, is now you're that much closer to getting probable cause of getting searched. Because obviously he's a gun enthusiast. Even if he doesn't have one, he likes the idea.
Yeah, that's most likely you're going to get the gun drawn from the holster and pointed at you while he comes to the car.
I'm not law enforcement, but if you have those things on your car outwardly out, you're not a felon because felons wouldn't do stuff like that. For the most part, why would you do that to yourself? But so I would just be like, oh, here we go. If I'm not a cop, I never was a cop. But I would just think, okay, this is a good old boy or a gun enthusiast, and he's probably going to show me his permit and all that stuff. And he's, So it's just here we go again. And then when cops ask you do you have any weapons in the car? And it's like, yes, I do. Now here's my gun permit. At that point, I'm pretty sure cops are used to it, depending on your state and your city. I'm sure here where I live, it's different.
In Illinois.
Yeah, in Chicago, it's got to be outrageous, But I doubt there's that many people out there running around with Glock, HK stickers, Got Sig stickers all over their car in Chicago. Maybe in the suburbs it goes down like that. But I don't know. I don't know. We'd have to have some cops in here or ex-cops in here to ask them. But I'm sure remember the Browning logo, the deer. So I'm accustomed to that. I know what that means now. But the other day I saw a pink one, and I asked my girlfriend. I was like, "You see that? What that means?" And she was like, "No." I'm like, "That's the Browning logo. That's a gun logo, a gun company logo." But I think it means she's a girl, she's a hunter. I don't know. You know what I mean? But law enforcement, they have to know these things. Whenever they see that Browning logo, oh, it's a hunter. Chances are he's going to have a firearm in his car, or on him or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, the stickers that they have down on the cars in the bad parts of Chicago, it's got Glock and it shows a picture of a High Point.
Yeah, that's if I was law enforcement and the dude had a High Point sticker on his car, then I'd be nervous. I'm just kidding. I just don't really think it. I think the more stickers you have like that, it would be wow, this person cannot be a felon because might be a little nuts, he might be a little off or whatever, but anyone could be. You know what? I think they did a study recently, and I was thinking about this all the time because they say the more bumper stickers you have on your car, the likelihood of you being an aggressive driver goes up skyrockets. So. You would not believe how many times I've been cut off by somebody or whatever. They won't let me in, and their car is plastered with bumper stickers, man. And it's funny.
Covering up the dents.
I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but I swear to you, most of them are liberal, and they're all these liberal bumper stickers, man. It's ridiculous.
And again, that's because they're covering up all the dents from every car they've hit. Yeah, we could go on to liberals and their aggression, but I'm not going to go there. But
no, but there's a lot of bumper stickers, man.
I've got one last don't, and that's don't be complacent. And complacent means a lot of things, from getting range time in. Don't just because you got your concealed carry now doesn't mean you don't need to go out and practice your skills. Don't neglect to take care of your concealed carry gun. Clean it. Because the last thing you're going to want if you do need to use your firearm is to have a gun that's, 45% lint and, 10% rust. The rest of it's gone away, You just don't want to, your firearm needs to be maintained.
Yep.
Just like you do regular maintenance on your car, you've got to do regular maintenance on your carry gun. And for me, I carry my, when I had a carry gun, because I know I'm going to get called out if I say one, I'd clean my carry gun once a week. Get rid of all the lint, make sure that it's still nice and lubed and everything.
Yeah, that's what the other thing is that
malfunction.
at Walmart you can buy these ultra dusters, like the canned air, and I don't even clean them, but like because I have Glocks, they're like AKs. I don't even know why Dano's cleaning that thing.
This
but
is
like,
well, Dano was cleaning his AK too, so.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to clean those. I think it's in the manual. Don't ever clean it. But no, I'm just saying, like in terms of like your carry gun, at least blow the. I got my canned air all the time, occasionally. But like I said before, I really don't play with the carry gun a lot. Like I don't need to clean it. I'll clean it if I shoot it for sure. But like when I'm carrying it, just blowing that canned air off, all the dust and lint off of your gun is awesome. But I don't need to like take it apart and clean it and stuff. Unless it's really hot and like I'm sweating all over my Glock 26 or whatever, and I'm, then I'll occasionally clean it. But definitely, like just the canned air to me saves a lot of money in cleaning supplies and stuff because mostly it's lint, like you said, dust and lint.
Well, I'm not taking my carry gun every week down to the bare bones. I'm just doing a field strip and clean.
And just for clarity, in the Glock manual, it says to clean after every time you've been shooting. That's what it says.
But they think you're going to shoot 1,000 rounds or something like that.
I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding. No, but I will tell you one thing, though. I used to be so paranoid about my carry guns when I first started doing this stuff, like carrying guns and stuff. I would go to the range and shoot my gun. And then I'd come home and clean it, right? And then I'd go back to the range and put like 5 to 10 rounds through it to make sure everything worked. Because I used to be so paranoid that after a detail strip, it just wouldn't work. You know what I mean? So, like, even the other day I did this. I cleaned my LCP 380, and I went to the range with some other gun. And at the very end, I just put, like, a few rounds through the LCP and did not touch it after that. Like, I didn't clean it. I didn't touch it. I put it right back in its holster, and at least I know, okay, well, last time I cleaned it, I took it all apart. It works now. It's not that dirty. 5 rounds, 10 rounds is not going to be dirty. Just wipe it off.
Yeah, well, everybody's different. I clean my gun after. I put 1 round through it, I still clean it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm OCD like that.
No, and I've read something like Masada Ayub used to say that like you should always do that because God forbid, say you got stopped by say law enforcement for like a mistaken identity thing, or like there was say something happened in the area or whatever, and your gun is spotless, sparkling clean. It's obvious that you weren't just in a fight, right? So. That's a good point, and I always remembered that he said that God knows how long ago. But like you're right. Like when you're carrying your gun, having it spotless is excellent.
We're given.
Yeah. I mean, just saying, having a gun that's spotless in your holster, that's clean and sparkling, is you cannot go wrong with that, man. That's awesome. It's obvious that you.
Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
No, I thought he was mid-sentence and then he stopped.
Oh.
Maybe it's just my bandwidth.
No, I think he did stop, so.
No, I just said, I mean, sparkling gun is a good gun. And just in case you're mistaken identity and stuff. I think it's my bandwidth.
Okie dokie.
Anybody else have anything on the what not to do when you conceal carry?
Don't stalk your ex-girlfriend, that's for sure.
If a police officer asks you if you're carrying anything, don't be deceptive. It will only do you no good. Regardless of what you are required to do, always cooperate. Always come off as the guy you are, which is the good guy.
Well, I got one. Don't. Oh, dang it! Now I lost the word. Don't be ignorant. Don't be ignorant. In other words, know the laws. Because ignorance is no excuse.
And most importantly, the laws in your state, not the laws you hear here on the internet with us chatting. We all live in different states. Things we're saying may only apply in our state. You need to know your state and your local rules. Because even if you look up something that's true in your state, you may live in a state that has what's called home rule, like in Illinois. Chicago is able to have additional rules that don't necessarily apply in other parts of the state. So you need to know local in addition to state laws.
Yeah, I was going to say, luckily we didn't get into legal stuff here that much, so we're good to go. But no, yeah, you're right. You better know your state. You better know your state laws. You better know your city laws, county laws, town laws, no matter what, you know.
Yeah, just because you got your concealed carry license.
Give a shout out to Gun Channels.
Yep. Refresh yourself on the laws because they do change. The states have a tendency to change the laws.
I'm going to give a shout out to Gun Channels and that, Talon, he said, how about this? Never leave a range with an empty gun. That's a great point. I've done it a few times and felt like a total victim, and I'll never do it again. I really don't care, to leave the range without something ready to go concealed. You know what I mean? Don't have all your guns in your bag, all shot, dirty, and empty, and you're walking to your car, and then you got to go stop and pump gas, and something like that happens,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say how I solved this. I take a loaded mag with me. I'm still I conceal carry my gun like I normally do. Same hollow point rounds. And then I have a loaded spare magazine with me, and then pop off that. I take the magazine out, put the one with the range ammo in it into the gun, pop off the first round that's the hollow point round because I'm not going to rechamber. I'm not going to rechamber that round, and just continue shooting with the full metal jacket range ammo. And then I just take and stick that magazine in, and rack around, and then go put a new round in my magazine when I get home for hollow point. So.
Yeah. It's a lot of indoor ranges where I live. They want to check your guns to make sure they're all empty. They want to check the ammo you're going to shoot at the range. They want to make sure that you're not bringing any firearms in the range. And you know what? I'm concealed carrying. I have a concealed permit. And we're, like Dano said about legal stuff, but it's legal. And I'm concealed carrying, so I'm bringing basically a designated driver to the bar. That gun that's concealed carry for me is not going to come out, and it's not going to go to the range that day. It's just going to be hidden the entire time, and it's going to protect me on my way home. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I'm not going to have a chance to shoot it. But some of those ranges like that, they want to check your ammo and check your gun and all that stuff. I would recommend checking your local state and city laws, and unless they have a sign posted. And at this point, I don't even go to those places anymore. There are ranges in my area that are so uptight about you bringing your gun in there, even if it's concealed carry, that I refuse to go there. There are absolutely stores now and indoor ranges that have signs posted, and I applaud them, that say, like, we respect your right to conceal carry, and as long as you stay concealed carrying and that firearm that has no, you're not pulling it out to show a sales clerk or a guy behind the range master, then that's your right, and that's on you. Like, don't worry about it. All the other range rules apply to the guns you're bringing to shoot at the range. So, or those are the places I would like to honor with my money. You know what I mean? The other places that want you to walk out of there like a victim with a bag full of goodies, F them.
Yeah, well, since open carry is legal in Wisconsin, my gun shop has, we respect your right to carry as well, as yours does, but it just says, please leave your gun holstered at all times. Whether you conceal carrying or open carrying, it covers both. If somebody's coming in there to rob a place, my first thought is getting down so that the the guys behind the counter who are carrying have a clear shot at the robber. I'm just gonna drop. They're the ones who are armed as well, so that's why I don't feel bad when I have to walk outside either if I bought something and I conceal. I'm carrying. There's one gun shop here that no conceal. No carry, no firearms allowed.
Right.
Which I won't go to.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Dana.
I haven't been to an indoor range in a couple of years because of those exact reasons. But what was I going to say? So I belong to an outdoor range, and so because I believe if you're going to conceal carry, you have to practice with what you're carrying. So at some point you're going to end up bringing that to the range to practice with, and within your legal constraints of where you live, you have to figure out what's the most expeditious way to get hot in a legal way when going from the range to your car or in your car, whatever, again, seems to fit best. But in my situation, I can make my gun hot again before I'm ever even at my car, because again, it's hidden, nobody sees it, and I just change over from full metal jacket back to self-defense ammo. And then when I get home, then I clean my gun.
Sorry, I had a cough. I can't stress this enough. Don't advertise that you're carrying. We talked about it a little bit, but I'm just saying that don't advertise that you're carrying. Don't go into the gun shop and say, yeah, check out my new I just got this gun and I'm concealed carrying it, etc., etc. You don't want to advertise that you're concealed carrying. Period. I've heard too many people just walk into the the gun shop and just start talking about the gun they're concealed carrying right then. It's a gun shop. You don't want to talk about guns, but don't advertise that's a gun you're carrying right that second. You don't have to talk about it. You don't talk about you just got your concealed carry permit and how great it is to every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there.
Right. Well, I think
inconspicuous.
I think
that wallflower.
The important part of what you're saying is to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, people you do not know well that don't already know that you're carrying. Now, if you're in the gun shop and you're by yourself and you know the gun shop owner or employee well, that may be different. I mean, I have a very good relationship with my local gun store. I mean, I have what I just generically call behind the display case privileges. I can just walk behind there and grab what I want. But I don't talk about those things unless it's just me and that person in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, talking about, just the Tom, Dick, and Harry part is what I'm getting at
right.
here.
Yeah, but that applies to everything. If you go to a social party, a parent's school party, whatever it is, I don't care how friendly you think it might be, that's one topic you'll never bring up.
Am I printing?
Yeah. Just make me look fat.
Yeah.
I got this new SIG 2026, and I want to know how it looks.
What's a 2026?
I just made it up. I don't know their numbers.
It's a 226.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But it's the point of what I'm saying is in social situations, you do not bring it up. Concealed, also think of it as meaning private. You don't talk about you and your girlfriend's best positions. You don't talk about carrying a gun. Even though everyone knows you're having sex with your girlfriend, it's just something you don't talk about.
Unless you're Girk.
Unless you're Girk.
That's what he gets for leaving.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of any more don'ts. Did we talk about holsters yet?
No, we just generally talked about the difference between open, because Girk was here to talk about how he open carries. But he didn't say that right up front when we started the chat, but I think that reflects some of his answers to the questions. Because my answers would change if I open carried. I just don't have that as an option. And if I did, I'm not sure if I would.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say don't go with the one-size-fits-all holster.
Uncle Mike's.
Yeah, Uncle Mike's is a great example. Blackhawk. There are a few other companies that make them that, and you want a holster that properly fits your model of firearm.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing you want to do is be, having to duck for cover and have your gun come flying out of your holster before you grab it.
It's like, if you wear a size 10, but all they had was a size 12 shoe at the store, so what the hell, you needed a shoe anyway, so you got the size 12.
Yeah, and I'm going to use Yankee's story where he was jogging across the street, the gun comes out, and goes underneath a car because he was not using a proper holster.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's a Yankee Marshall.
And the other extreme is if it's literally so tight, you may pull it out and you may pull out the holster with it.
Right. That's another one.
And that creates its own issues.
Yeah. And I would also say make sure that your holster has a trigger guard. Because the last thing you want is to have your gun to go off in your pocket or in your pants.
Or,
you end up like bicycle bursts.
Somebody
leg and 5 years in jail or whatever long you had to spend, 3 years, whatever. That's a huge thing. And also, just like your shoes, your shoes might be worn in and very, very comfortable. But it's not the same thing for a holster. If your holster is worn in, you may think it's really, really comfortable. If you're wearing one of those leather holsters that you'll use inside your pocket and it's worn in, you have that ability to have the leather get to the point where it's going to grip that trigger, and when you sit down, the gun is going to go off. I can't remember exactly where I was reading that, but I think it was actually in a concealed carry magazine, where the guy was talking about holsters and how he ended up putting around through his seat and through the bottom of his car. Thankfully, he was not hurt besides a flesh wound, and because he was using what he thought was a reliable holster because he had it for years and years and used it every day, but got to the point where the leather was too supple, and when he sat down, the leather crimped in and pulled the trigger.
Yes, generally speaking, leather holsters, over time, the more you use them, the looser they will get. So if you're relying on a friction fit, you're going to have less and less friction over to the point where it's a gun holder, not a gun holster.
Yep. Well, you can also get to that point with Kydex where it just one day you go to reholster your firearm and the Kydex cracks, and then you're got a Kydex holster that all of a sudden does not fit your firearm well. So it's any holster that can wear in over time.
Well, I think that this generally fits under you need to inspect your holster in addition to your gun occasionally.
Yep. What are? Oh, those are all the holsters you have. Okay.
Oh no, I said had. I was going to say Crossbreed, Fist Incorporated, Filster, Galco, CompTac. CompTac is good. They're all good. Crossbreed, Fist, Filster, Galco, CompTac, Aegis Armory. I have a holster made by Glock Guru here, Ralph DeCat, Raven, Bravo, Blade Tech, Milt Sparks, Contact Concealment, High Noon. I can't even think of, there's so many, but get a good holster. It doesn't matter what brand it is. Just get a good one.
You can.
Don't buy one size fits all. Large revolver, good to go. You do me a favor and get a good holster.
Yeah. Do we
don't settle for the first holster you pick out either, just because you don't want to look at holsters anymore. You want to find one that works, and sometimes when you're concealed carrying, sometimes you can get lucky and find that first holster that you just love. It's comfortable to wear, etc., etc. But sometimes, don't get frustrated is what I meant. Try to pick out a holster. Sometimes it could take you quite a while until you find that right holster.
You know, your gun store may only have 1 or 2 brands of holsters, but I can tell you there's probably over 100 different companies that make holsters.
Yeah.
From little mom and pop shops to the big ones.
Yeah, like I have Old Faithful. I like the Old Faithful holster. It's comfortable. Fits my gun well. I had no problem with it. I got lucky the first time I bought one. I tried it. I liked it, and it's what I used. I go right back to that system most likely with the next gun. But my next gun that I get may not be as comfortable with that style of holster. So I'm not saying it's going to be my go-to.
I have a question for the few guys that are here. Rather than necessarily a brand name, do you guys have any do's or don'ts for types of carry?
Mexican carry, bad idea.
What?
Mexican carry is a bad idea.
And for those that don't know what that means, what does it mean?
Just slipping it in your waistband without any protection.
Which is flexible burst.
Yeah, the clip draw, the Glock clip draw. I've seen clip draws for Kel-Tecs and Glocks and all this other stuff. It's like some sort of clip, like a knife clip, that attaches to your gun, and they assume you're going to carry your gun chambered with no holster, with a clip. I don't get it. Unless I had like a 20-pound trigger pull, I wouldn't even come close to carrying something like that. So.
I do understand it is a minimalist holster to the 10th degree, but I've not worn one, but it's got to be as uncomfortable as it can get.
Yeah, well,
because there's nothing your gun in your skin.
No, I mean, the smaller the gun you get, like a Kel-Tec or a Ruger LCP, no matter how you carry it, you're probably going to forget it's on you. You know what I mean? Because they're so damn tiny, and they're like 10 ounces. You know what I mean? Literally like 10 ounces. So it's a joke. But, once you start carrying a Glock 26 and with a clip draw, with that little knife clip, that's got to be ridiculous. I don't know. I don't recommend it, because I'm telling you, like, there's nothing protecting that trigger guard.
I will say, if you want a minimalist holster, get like a Mick holster, Mike holster, where it's just a trigger guard, slaps over the trigger guard, and then you get a string from there that you can loop around a belt loop or your belt. When you pull your gun, the trigger guard comes off, and you're ready to go.
Yes.
For me, another one is don't carry it, right at your back. If you slip and fall on your back, you're going to land on that firearm, and you could really cause a lot of damage to your back.
Right. I was hoping that Thin Blue Line was going to expand his definition, which he didn't.
He said something?
Yes, he did.
Yes, I did. I have been here a while, Court.
Really?
But that generic name of what Thin Blue used, which should not be used, I don't think, but that's just my opinion, applies to whether you're carrying it up front, in the back, on the side, no matter where you carry it. If you're just shoving it between your body and your Kmart belt, that's a terrible way to carry. For multiple reasons. It's not like there's just one. There's your injuring yourself, your back, your stomach. There's lots of reasons not to do it, and other than being too much of a cheap ass, I don't see any reason for doing it.
Yep. Because that's the last thing you want is your gun to accidentally go off, injuring yourself or injuring or killing an innocent person. And if you are Mexican carrying and you're a guy, last thing you want to do is shoot your twig and berries off.
Jeez, Court.
Or
that's one word for it.
If I'm going to use the British term, your gentleman's sausage.
Haven't quite heard it put that way, but okay.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Then you guys have not watched enough Top Gear.
I watched the American version for a couple times, but I've seen the British one time.
Watch it a lot more. It's on Netflix.
I mean, it was entertaining.
Top Gear UK is awesome. Top Gear America is trying to take the best part of Top Gear UK and running a whole show about it with an asshole, an idiot, and a fat guy, it just doesn't work. Sadly, I watch it because it's not Top Gear UK on, but yes, it's horrible. Like, getting back now, since Tino here joined us, you have any concealed carry don'ts?
Excuse me. As I already stated, that I don't know what term Daniel would use for it, but Mexican carry is a bad idea. Wearing baggy shorts with a bigger gun, you know, if you're using like
That's bad company.
a 45.
For you.
Baggy shorts, I mean, that's probably a bad idea.
Well, I've got one. Don't wear your pants around your knees if you're concealed carrying, because
that's
then you're
another
not
one.
concealed carrying anymore.
If you're concealed carrying, don't do anything. Like, don't go walking down dark alleys just because, well, now I have a gun, I could protect myself. It's still, why would you put yourself in that situation?
It's almost like we
Were
talked
you-
about. This at the beginning.
Yeah, were you watching us?
No, I wasn't. I was at a party.
You get here
I'm gonna
halfway
say-
through, and then we end up covering the same crap.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Sorry,
this.
I'm gone.
Don't conceal carry if you're underage, like Thin Blue Line.
Yeah, that's another one. I thought we were just doing. I didn't think we were doing illegal things. I mean, that's just common sense.
Yet you
And
still do it.
Defending fathers, I agree with that. The best Top Gear episode is the Florida to New Orleans. That was awesome. They've got so many, though, it's hard to pick just one. But anybody got anything else to add?
One thing I'll just throw out there, just in general, there's now so many people making holsters that if you run into one, and I won't use the brand name Crossbreed, and they say it takes 6 months to make it, there's now enough other quality manufacturers making literally the same type of holster that you don't need to go there and wait 6 months to get your holster.
Yes, and that I found out the hard way that I ended up having to wait 12 weeks to get mine because they had that long of a backup, but this was right after Sandy Hook, so there's gun craze going on.
So I don't know about Crossbreed now. I think they're a little bit better, but he did invent it. Paul Craighead, I think his name was. He did die of a heart attack about a year ago. He was a hardworking man who was in nursing school. He invented this holster, and his family, it was all in the family business, and he passed away last year. So if you want to buy a Crossbreed holster, you probably should, because I'm just saying I feel like bad because he kind of did invent that whole holster, that whole design. But no, I mean, I agree with you. There are other companies out there doing it, but that was the original, I believe.
There are patents. If your idea is truly unique enough, there are patents to protect your idea. If your patent is not that unique, then you just got to be have the best product, the best service, that sort of thing.
Yeah. But no, they make a good product, man, and also they were very supportive of the of the culture or whatever you want, shooting sports and stuff like that.
I've got no bones to pick as far as I think they have a very good quality of product. The only thing that I did a reason I would not buy their holster is because that anyone that knows anything about guns and carry sees those crosses on those clips, they know exactly what you have.
Yeah, that's the other thing about them that I didn't like.
Because there was no.
I'm not sure if they have uncrossed like clips now. By now they should. I mean, I would imagine.
And I didn't. It's kind of like having bumper stickers on the car. I didn't like the idea of advertising again. And so I found another one.
Like I said like before, when we were talking about bumper stickers, I doubt any bad guy is going to know Crossbreed holster. Oh, cross on clip means rob this guy or something like that. But yeah, I mean, you're basically these are like hidden symbols. Like we're in some sort of secret society, and we see them and we know what they mean. and we as like concealed carry people, which is we're a minority, so I really don't care, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like about these kind of things like that. If I'm printing or
Exactly.
if I have a paracord bracelet or whatever, I mean, it's like, you know what, if you know, that's cool, but I doubt the average bad guy, crackhead, thug, rapist, whatever you want to call them, carjacker, people who follow you out of the mall when you're buying a computer, stuff like that, or just the average, you know, jerk off is going to be like, oh my God, he's got crosses on those clips. You know what I mean? Like, that means, like, he's a victim. Or, like, that's probably the opposite. You don't want to find out. If you want to find out.
I'm not worried about the bad guy, but again, it comes from where I live. I'm worried about panicked aunties saying, oh my goodness, I think that guy might have a gun. We better call the cops.
Antis are the ghost gun 30,000 rounds per second people. Like, they really don't know what the heck they're talking about. Even, you know, like, you know, the barrel shroud. It's a thing that goes up and you put it on your shoulder. Like, believe me, they're not gun people. They have no effing clue.
I understand that. But
That's my opinion.
The one thing I know for sure is they absolutely panic. Absolutely. I mean, I came from a family of aunties. I'm the only gun guy in my family and extended.
Ask any one of them if they've ever heard of crossbreed holsters.
Oh, I'm sure the answer is no.
Right. And I doubt anybody has heard of them, except if you were looking to buy a holster and you were like doing research that hardcore that you found that name. Like, you know what I mean? They don't advertise on television. They're not on the radio. And the few places they do advertise, it's like so underground that you'd really have to be involved in the gun community to know what the heck that is.
I agree it's a very small thing. It's one little thing I can do to help lower my profile. And because there are so many companies making hybrid holsters that are of similar to equal quality, why not? I mean,
I agree with you. My next one's going to be this Aegis Armory. They're awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I agree. There are so many other companies.
Mamba holster, which I just love, and it was actually $30 less, and the build quality on it, fantastic. But they had to.
I had a Milt Sparks holster. I had to wait for a long time. I paid outrageous amount of money for it. And Galco has copied every single design that Milt Sparks has ever done. So if you want a summer comfort, you know, instead of I forgot what Milt Sparks is. It's like the summer special. You know what I mean? Like, literally down to the name of the holster, they've copied every single thing. Is the Milt Sparks better? Hell yeah. Is it that much better? No. You know, it's not really that. It's not twice the money and a 3 or 4 month wait or 6 month wait. So I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. Well, I've got another don't here. Don't fall into caliber hype. You want to find a gun that you are going to shoot well and is comfortable for you to shoot. You know, that may just be a 9mm. You may think, oh, I've got to get a 45 or a 10mm or the Smith & Wesson 500 because it's a big caliber. You know, that's going to work. Don't fall into that hype. Find a gun that you shoot well, you shoot comfortably, because that is the gun you are going to carry. Wow, dead silence. Nobody's got anything to add?
No, I
agree, but I mean, also I have to add that I think you mean within reason, like, you know, don't stick with. I mean, 22 isn't bad if that's all you can do, but were you just talking like major calibers, or were you all?
Well, you know, like some people are like so anti 9mm, all they recommend people carrying is a 45. If you cannot hit the side of the barn with a 45, but you can, hit bullseye all day with a 9mm, then you should be carrying the 9mm because it's the round you're going to shoot well.
You know, I completely agree. As long as you were talking major calibers, I wouldn't advocate carrying a 22.
If the only gun a person could carry is a 22, I would not stop them from carrying a 22 and saying that you can't carry a 22, because a 22 is better than a frickin' a purse or your keychains.
Oh no! I completely agree. Don't get me wrong. If that's all you can carry, then go. That's fine. But
yes, there is nothing wrong, because majority of people, if they get shot, are going to think twice about what they're doing. It's a rare instance where you find that person that is going just wants to kill you for no other reason, doesn't mind that they're going to die in the process. You know, good example is that the sheriff or cop from Florida that used the 45 was carrying and ended up shooting the guy like 30 some times before the guy finally died. Because it's all out to kill the cop. You know, that's a rare instance. Yeah, so.
Yep.
Carrying a 22 is better than carrying nothing at all. And take it from me right now, I would carry a 22 if that's all I could carry.
But if you haven't bought a gun, and then I would say definitely don't buy a 22. I mean, if you have not purchased one yet.
Yeah,
and you can only buy one.
you know, I think at least now in these in current times, I mean, there's a lot of 9mm out there that I think most people should be able to shoot 9mm. Reasonable people, you know.
I mean, for less than $400, you can get a 9mm.
You know, I understand, you know, older folks, people who have, you know, disabilities and they can't shoot bigger rounds, but I'm talking about the general majority of the public. 9mm, even if you can buy light loads for them and all. So, I mean,
yeah. Well, another one here is, you know, oh, dang it! I just had it, and now I forgot it. At least how I was going to word it anyway. But,
Was it a brand or a question or what?
don't fall into that all ammo is created equal in the same caliber.
Oh, yes.
Because, you know, there are a lot of different manufacturers of. I'm just going to bring this to carry ammo. A lot of different manufacturers of carry ammo. You know, some are super hyped, like the RIP ammo was just super hyped for a while. Same with Liberty Defense was super hyped for a while. Because of marketing. And, you know, just don't think that that newest ammo on the shelf is the greatest and best ever because it's new or it's got a new shiny package. So if Stone Guy was here, that's aimed at him. You want to do your research on your carry ammo. Watch a lot of videos, watch a lot of testing, and then get a few. You know, get a couple boxes and then test it through your firearm to make sure it functions in your firearm. You know, your first choice may not function well in your particular firearm, even though it functions well in, you know, 99% of the other exact same brand and caliber firearm.
Yep.
So
I'm not even going to do the research. I'm going to let other people do the research, like the New York Police Department, the New York State Troopers, TN Outdoors 9.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
the United States military.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
That way. Do research online, and then, you know, go out and buy a couple boxes and test it through your firearm. Make sure it works, because the last thing you want to do is just stick it in your firearm, and then start carrying it without testing it, because, you know, that first round may go bang, but it may not want to load the second round.
Oh yeah, you better check it in your gun. That's for sure, because the difference, like 147 grain and 124 grain and 9mm, the overall length it changes a bit. You know, so I'm almost positive. I've looked at them together, and it's like, wow, this looks a little longer. So just, you know, you better make sure it fits in your gun, works in your gun, and you better put enough rounds that you can afford in there to, you know, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. Like a magazine, maybe 2 magazines, maybe 10 magazines. If you can do that, wow, you're an awesome guy. But yeah, these companies that come out of nowhere with no research, no major police departments using them, nothing is said about it except like marketing stuff. They were invented like a week ago. You want to be their beta test? You know, I'm not going to do it. You know, no way.
And also, don't think that just dry cycling your firearm is a good enough test.
Yeah.
Take it to the range and actually fire it, because my SEG would cycle the Hornady with the ballistic tip, you know, whatever that plastic is. But as soon as I took it to the range and started firing it, it would jam. It did not like feeding that ammo. I would have gotten me into a whole lot of trouble if I were trying to carry that at, you know, that round. I'd only get the first round off, and the second round would have been a jam. And I could have been in deep shit.
Yep.
So, make sure you do your testing. Does anybody else have any ideas? So those are my last two.
If you're going to carry, you should not just you should practice at least once a month, and be, if you can't afford to get a training class, have someone who whether it's a friend that's a police officer or a friend that conceals carries that has attended a class, assist you to make sure that you're not reinforcing bad habits that you picked up off of a Hollywood movie, that you're actually practicing things that are known and shown to work.
Yeah, that goes into the complacency. Shooting is a diminishing skill. If you don't practice it, you lose it. Yeah, and don't think just because you went to the range and fired your gun on a target that it's good enough training. You should practice drawing from your holster at home while the gun is safe. Practice makes perfect. The more practice you can get in, the better off you're going to be. The more competent you're going to be, because if in that high pressure situation, you're going to fall into your lowest level of training. And if nobody else has anything, I've got my question, which I haven't thought for October. But I want to make sure people have been watching this whole chat. So the question is, who was the first person to leave the chat tonight, and who was the last person to join the chat tonight?
Ooh, that's a good one. Two different.
That's good.
So if you want a chance at that Glocktober swag bag, if first person that gets it correct, or the first person that gets one of the two correct, depends if they watch the whole thing, you'll win. So you can either message me through YouTube or post after I post something on gun channels, which I'm doing right now. It is a really cool package, so there we go. As I said, you had to watch the whole chat at the beginning. So we'll just BS here for a couple seconds.
And for those who are busily working on that, when you're done with that, if you want 2 more chances to possibly win, in case you don't think you got it down, go over to the Just Dano channel, and there's a video over there that describes what you need to do to enter my contest. I've got 2 packs that I'm giving away. It does end Monday morning. So you've got today as well as all of tomorrow to check out the video, do follow the directions that are in there, and I also have a question. All you have to do is answer it and be a subscriber to me. That's it.
All right, we've got a winner.
Woo!
Island, you won. You got it. You're the first one to get it correct.
He's making this thing expensive living way out there on the island.
That is
That's
true.
why priority mail. There we go. Comes in handy because it's flat rate no matter where you send it.
Just in case he won already, do you have a backup?
Yeah, Island, you haven't won, correct? Because if you haven't won, just send me a PM. I'll actually message you. Thank you for DB for posting that in there. And I want again, and all right. There you go, Island. You've got the little message. Just send me your address through the private messaging there, and I'll forward it on to G-Webs. I want to thank Glock for letting G-Webs do this contest. I want to thank G-Webs for doing all this awesome work to get this all set up. I want to thank all the sponsors of it. There's a whole bunch. Ghost Town Custom Knives.
Wilderness
the one I
Tactical.
forgot. Wilderness Tactical. There we go. And then we got Artisan Tony, and there's a whole bunch more. You can actually go to Glocktober.us, find out what you could win with Dano's contest here. Alan, you can see what you have won. And that's a minimum, and I will say what the minimum is. Minimum, you're going to get the Glock Annual, the Glock Catalog, Glock Sticker, and a Glock Patch. There's also lots of different other items you can win. I'm just naming the Glock stuff because that's right. Remember, a Glock mat, a Glock hat. There's other companies that are providing hats. It's all the stuff you could possibly win. You've got a great chance of winning something beyond just those 4 items. But don't keep your hopes up. Just think you're going to win those 4 items. So with that, I want to pass it on to DB if he's got something to say since he unmuted himself.
No, I was just going to fart.
Well, that's good.
I want to,
Everybody
shout out to Talon, and Talon almost won, and Gun Channels. I was taking questions. Me and Talon, he's sponsoring me tonight. He asked the question in the chat, and I asked the question on the air. So I want to thank Talon and Antonio. Antonio, you sound like you need a belt and a good belt and a holster. So
Yeah.
let me know, dude.
Yeah, and Robbie, dinner date with Nude Quark, unsupervised, is a grand prize.
Yeah.
And Kassan is in the chat. Kassan, your sister, you gave me your sister earlier in the year. You never sent her to the state I live in. I'm upset at you.
And Antonio, I know you're going minimalist out there, but there's a price to be paid for going minimalist. Going with your existing setup, i.e. belt, i.e. Uncle Mike's, there's a price to be paid. Hopefully it doesn't end up being your life.
$39 for a belt that lasts. When I bought the fake Wilderness Tactical belt, the 511 piece of garbage made in a country that hates you, okay, that one lasted like 7 years. I'm not gonna lie. Like that holster, I mean that belt lasted like 7 years. I bought the Wilderness Tactical for the same exact price, probably cheaper, like maybe $10 cheaper, excluding taxes, shipping and stuff like that. But Wilderness Tactical belt will last you damn near a decade. So $39 for like 7 to 8 years of this belt lasting, it's so worth it, dude. And that's one piece of the puzzle. And then the holster is going to last you forever too. I mean, most likely, until you say, hey, I want to get rid of this High Point, and then you'll just get another holster.
I mean, the way to look at it is, it's like, how strong of a house can you have if it's not sitting on a solid foundation? And that's what your belt and your holster are. They're the foundation of everything else. And I also have a Wilderness Tactical belt, which I love, and I wear that daily. I also have an SOE belt from Mr. Friendly.
I love my SOE. I love my Wilderness. I will say this though, Dana, you'd know. The Wilderness Tactical gives you so much forgiveness in terms of like weight loss and if you gain weight.
Yes.
Where my SOE is only going to adjust out maybe an inch, maybe 2.
Exactly. It's very unforgiving as far as either you lose weight, you gain a little weight, you're getting a new belt. The Wilderness Tactical, much more adjustable. And also much easier to get on and off for changing pants.
Yeah, I love Wilderness Tactical.
Yes.
My next one from them will be the one with they have a polymer like plastic lining inside to make it extra stiff. I should have got that the first time.
That's the kind I have now. It's a nylon on the outside, then Kydex, and then nylon on the inside.
And you like it?
It is great. It has, well, when I hold up my SOE belt, to see how it resists gravity, horizontal rather than vertical, they're of equal strength.
Oh, wow. Okay, because, my SOE is way stiffer than my Wilderness Tactical.
I mean,
Okay. So I need the one with the Kydex.
kind of blows your mind. It's like you could pick up something with it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. So when I buy my next Wilderness, it'll be the polymer, the Kydex inside.
Yeah, I call it the sandwich belt.
That's awesome.
It's got nylon or whatever for comfort, but on the inside there's Kydex for strength, which is the same thing SOE does. There's this Kydex on the inside.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I'm not sure. I think their webbing is just so ridiculous that I don't think my SOE is just the scuba webbing or whatever they call it. Just a tactical nylon webbing. It's double thick.
And the only reason I don't wear my SOE belt more often is because of my own fault. Is I got just the Cobra belt buckle, which is not, and it's my fault, not their fault. It's just that it's a kind of a pain in the butt to take the buckle on and off just to change from one pair of pants to another.
Yeah,
and
I hear you.
But that's something I didn't realize. That's not something that they did.
Did you get the EDC Cobra or the big Cobra buckle, the regular one?
The regular one.
Okay, cool. Either one, you can't just like pull through the threads of your pants.
Right.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is pay attention to the size. When it says 1.5 inches as far as what it'll fit, if you have 1 1/4 inch loops, it's not going to go through. So you have to make sure that you measure the pants that you expect to wear this gun in, and measure all the loops, just not the first one that might be a little stretched out.
That's
Okay,
true.
guys.
It's called the Wilderness.
Yeah, I
Don't
wanted to
forget
make sure.
ATEI because I think they're giving everyone in this chat a free ATEI Glock, custom Glock. So pretty cool. Good night.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks everybody for tuning in, turning out tonight, and helping out on this chat. And good night, everybody. I hope somebody will get a Gun Channels lobby set up.
Have a good one.
Adios.